1, 2, 3. Went for a tournament. Huge truck of players. Uses a player class. Player has a name and number. So here's a player class. Here's the constructor. So I'm just gonna write constructor just for my own good. And I know to make a player you need a name and a player number, a string in it. Get player number. Private instance where I want shown. Okay. Here's the class tournament. It's got the player array. So this array slots is made out of players, not ints or anything. And then the waiting list is the list of names of players who wish to participate but can't because the slots are full. Okay, so we got slots and we got waiting list. This is an array and this is a string list. Okay. Write tournament method. Method requests slots, tries to reserve a slot. If one of them is assigned to a player, if there are no available slots, it's added to the end of the waiting list and null is returned. Okay. So I have public player request slot string player name. Okay. And what do I want to do with this? So tries to reserve a slot. So available slots in the tournament, one of them is assigned to the name. Okay, so I want to check every single slot in the array. What's the array called again? The array is called slots. Okay, so I'm going to check every single one. Length I plus plus. And I want to check if I know, then I want to put the player in. Let's see. And then I want to return the player somehow. Otherwise, if we go through and you didn't return it, then we must return null because it's full. Let's see. Add the player's name to the end of the waiting list. So the waiting list is called, it's called waiting list. Okay, and because it's an array, you can just .add. So you can do This is a player's name, which is the string. Okay. So player name. Actually, we need to call it waiting list dot add and then player name, because the player name is a string. This is a list of strings. But to add stuff to the end of the slots, it needs to be a player, not just the player name. If there are empty slots, assign the player to an empty slot, create and return the new player. Okay, so I need to create a player. So to create the player, I need to look at the player constructor. So I want to create a player. So player A equals new player. The name of the string is player name, and the int is player number, which would be I. And then put the player in that spot. So slots at index I is now A. And then I want to return A. Oh, null is, this is why it's good to use replit, because I forgot. I think you can use dot equals null. Oh, no. I is an int, so I need to see if slots at I is equal to null. Again, that's really why it's important to use replit, because I would have just compared a number to null object, which doesn't work. Okay, so make sure to return the player or return null. So I returned A, which is the new player. I returned null. Okay, looks good. And I've got 12 minutes left. By the tournament method, cancel and reassign. Releases a previous player's slot if the waiting list contains any names. Is reassigned to the person in the front list. This person's list is removed from them and the newly created player is returned. If the waiting list is empty, is and null is returned. Okay, can use any of these. Instance variable, request slot, cancel and reassign slot. Okay. Releases the slot for a player P, thus removing that player from the tournament. Release the slot for player P. So player P has the number, the player number. Okay, so going on to a new method. Public player cancel and reassign slot player P. Okay, so we want to get player P's number. P dot get player number, and I want to make that num. Okay, so what do I want to do with that? Removing the player from the slot. Okay, so that means slots at index num now equals null because we don't want it there. there are any names in the waiting list. So if waiting list is not empty, I don't know how to check that right now. So if something, then if there are any names, remove the first name and create a player. So I want to create a player. New player equals new. Let's call it, instead of new, I don't want to mix myself up. A player equals new player. It has something, but we know that the slot it's going to be in is num. So this is going to be the string. So it would be from waiting list dot get at index 0. And I would want to put that player in num of slots. If waiting list is empty, let's see, if there are any names in waiting list, remove the first name and create a player in the slot. So then I have to remove it too. So I've created this player. I also have to say waiting list dot remove at index 0. Okay, so if waiting list is not empty, so that means if waiting list dot size is greater than 0, then we can see size is a method. Okay, if there are any names in the waiting list, remove the first name. So and is there any, remove the first name and create a player in the canceled slot for this person. So I've created a player from the first, I'd said remove, and this is the canceled slot. If waiting list is empty, mark the spot specified by P as empty and return null. So if it's not greater than 0, if the size is not greater than 0, then it's still null, which we already did here, and return null. If waiting list is empty, mark the slot specified as empty and return null. Player P will be removed. Return the new player in the canceled slot. Did I return the new player? I didn't return it. Return a player. Okay. So we got the player slot, the number. We've made that number null if the size of the waiting list is not empty, so if it's 0, then make a new player, remove it from the waiting list, you got the player, and then you return the player. You got the player in the slot. So if the waiting list is empty, you just return null. And that way it's always returning a player. Excellent. And I got 5 minutes left. So I'm going to double check everything because I don't have C. I'm going to go back to A because I think I double checked B pretty well. Okay. Request slot. Tries to reserve a slot in the tournament for a given player. If there are any available slots in the tournament, one of them is assigned to the named player, and the newly created player is returned. So if there are no available slots, the player's name is added to the end of the waiting list, and null is returned. Okay. So in here, we've looped through it, and we want to see if slots, that index at slots, is null. If it is null, I want to create a player using the player's name and I, because that's the slot that's null. And then we will now want to take that slot and set it to this new player A and return A. I think that's good. And would this keep going through the end of the for loop? No, because I returned A. So if this kept going till the end of the for loop, I would just replace it with a while loop, which would stop as soon as we found its null. But because we have this return statement, it will only go until this if statement is true for the first time. So I'm good with that. But say we've not found anything that was null, then there are no available slots. Add the player's name to the end of the waiting list. Waiting list dot add player name, and it should add to the end. I can use my cheat sheet, reference sheet, to look it up, or I could just do slots dot, no, not slots, waiting list dot size minus 1. It doesn't matter because I know add can take in 2 parameters, I'm pretty sure, but I'm just gonna do player name because I'm pretty sure it just adds to the end. I would double check my reference sheet for that. It's like I don't have it on me. You should always have the reference sheet on you when taking the test or practice tests. I am just a forgetful person like that. Okay, player name, the name of the person requesting the slot. Return the new player, and let's see if I return the player. Right here, I returned the player, but I returned null in case there was no slot. Okay, I think I'm good, and I've got 2 minutes left, so I'm gonna go ahead, and if I were taking the test, I would write this down in this empty spot, copy paste it in empty slot, or take a photo and